Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Great Black Speakers podcast, where we connect through conversation. I am your host, Lawrence Watkins. I am the founder and CEO of Great Black Speakers, and I'm also the president and chief operating officer of the Black Business School. And today we're connecting with brother NeAndre Broussard. And NeAndre is the leader of a movement, Black Menswear movement. He's going to talk about today. You may have seen him in the news recently about getting really a whole lot of Black men together to put on some suits and change the narrative in regards to Black men in the media, Black men in society. But of course, he can explain it way better than I can. And with this movement, he's gotten a lot of attention. And also he's caused a little bit of controversy too that we're going to get into later on today as well. But we want him to just talk to us in terms of why he started the movement, what he hopes to gain from it, and he hopes the community to gain from it, and just get some insight into some things that positive Black people are trying to do to really change the world. So, it'll be up to you to decide, if this is something you want to be a part of. But of course, we like to get the most intelligent people possible on our channel to talk about all the great things that they're doing to make a difference. So, NeAndre, how you doing today, man?
Man, I'm well. I'm blessed. I can't complain, man. I'm glad you guys had me on today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. And we thank you for being on today. And can you give the audience a little bit more information regarding your background and what you're currently doing?
Yeah, so my background, I am a product of Houston, Texas. I'm out here now. I live in Dallas. I've been in Dallas like almost 15 years now. But I am the proud founder of Black Menswear, which originally it really started as an Instagram page that allowed me to visually showcase Black men in a different light than they're always shown, or not always shown, but shown enough. And really, like, real deal, like legit, I was sitting summer of 2017, and I was sitting watching TV. And that was a tough summer because, brother man after brother man after brother man was getting shot down by the police. Whether it was on the news being recorded, or whether it was on Facebook Live being recorded, or whether it was on anywhere that it was recorded, it was showcased. And in every instance, no matter what, whether the person was a upstanding citizen or not, their perception or how they were perceived in the media was as a criminal rather than a victim. And like that pushed me to the point where I was like, okay, at least let me use, because I knew how to use social media. I knew how to grow audiences from that way. I knew how to push imagery. And so I said, well, at least let me use this opportunity to at least put out a different image of what, of what they're putting out. We all different. We all, we all rock differently. That's what makes our culture a beautiful thing. But why is it that while we do things so differently, they only show us in one light? And so that was my opportunity to start Black Menswear, really as a way to hone in on that aspect of it from a perception aspect that, hey, I rock hoodies a lot. I rock sweats a lot, but at the same time, I also wear suits a lot. Like my profession, I'm in my day job. I am a wholesaler for a life insurance company. So I'm a salesman, selling all day. And so from that aspect, every day, if I'm going out, I'm in a suit, right? But I can guarantee you though, if I get it caught up with the law, they're gonna find that picture of me when I was 19 at the at the party with my boys. Like, they're gonna find that picture, and that's gonna be the picture that they pushed out. And so my whole goal was to flood the airways with as many pictures as I could that changed that perception to say, look, and really using that to motivate young kids that are like, I've never seen that. I didn't know that many Black men wore suits. I didn't know that many Black men had access to suits, because I don't see it every day. And the beautiful thing about social media is that it allows you to reach more people than you can actually touch. And so I'm like, okay, well, this is my voice. This is my way to help encourage some type of positivity, put some type of positivity back within our community when all it seems to get pushed out is negativity for our community. So that, in essence, that's how, and that's why I got started with Black Menswear.
Got you. So you're doing Black Menswear. How is it going so far with the movement in terms of just flooding the internet with
well, it's a beautiful thing, and it's even more beautiful when you actually are able to be a part of what we call a flash mob. So 2 years ago, a year and a half ago in Dallas, when I started Black Menswear, I was, at that point, I started getting, more pictures, and I was like, well, let me take some pictures with some guys here in Dallas, and we did it was a real small shoot, it's like 4 of us, and at the end of that shoot, we all were like, man, this is nice. Let's invite some more people out, and we tossed around well, let's get 10 people together. And something in me was just and I think God lays out everything for us, and I literally heard a voice say, "Go bigger." Go bigger. And so in essence, what I did was I just kind of put out a filler. And, the easiest thing for me to get from that perspective was the Noops. I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. So it wasn't hard for me to get at least 15 guys out in this for this. But that first one, it was 8:00 on a Saturday morning, and there were 25 guys that came out suited and booted. And at that point, I was like, okay, 8:00 on a Saturday. Some of them, I know where they were at 12 hours ago, right? And so, or 10 hours ago. And so, but they came out because they were like, man, I just want to be a part of something that's positive. And so if you're having this aspect of it where we can come out and be positive, let's do it. So I did Dallas. I did another one in Dallas. And then the beautiful thing about my job, I'm a national wholesaler. So I travel to a lot of different places. And the first one I did outside of Dallas was in DC. So I went to DC last year. Before I went to DC, I was in LA. And I was going to LA, and my boy hit me up. He said, hey, man, you should probably try, get some of us together to do a flash mob here in LA. So it didn't take much. Because, again, when you have something that's positive, and people want to be a part of positivity. And especially when I tell you the environment and the ambiance that's a part of these flash mobs, when you got now, I guess kind of fast forward now to the last one I did was in DC. We had almost 200 brothers out there, right? And just being amongst that and just being amongst positivity and the network and, guys from all different walks of life just coming out. And you can tell people are from all different walks of life by looking at the suit, right? I know you're a clothier because I can tell how your suit is tailored to you, right? And I know you came out because you want to be a part of this. I could tell because your suit isn't, tailored or whatever that is, right? Or it's just the beautiful thing about bringing people together from that aspect to where these flash mobs, that's kind of taking over what Black Menswear is. What we've now done, Houston, Atlanta, Tampa, Dallas, LA, DC, we got Chicago coming up in May. And now it's become more of an opportunity again to have a public showcase of a different perception of what the media says that Black men are. I mean, you Google the term Black man, and I'm telling you, the images that come up aren't the most fairest, right? And so I'm just trying to change. I'm trying to put a different picture at the top of that Google search, right? I'm just trying to adjust that narrative and drive forth that positivity.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that a little bit more because there's a certain segment of the population, the Black population, that loves what you're doing. I'm a brother of Alpha Phi Alpha, right? And some of the people that I talk to, think this is an excellent thing, while other people, even part of the quote unquote Black bourgeoisie or whatever you want to call it, they think that this is playing right into white supremacy and Black power, white supremacy and respectability politics. I think those are the words that when I saw this on the internet that were used, very often, right? So what do you think about that? Their argument is, no matter if you're wearing a suit or wearing a hoodie, they're still going to shoot you as a Black man because they're not going to see the suit, right? Yeah. What is your argument against that?
I agree. So it's not necessarily an argument against that. I'm going to be 100% honest, and I don't think that I'm anywhere near changing the stigma that's in the system, the systematic oppression. What I'm just trying to do is encourage the opportunity to at least drive some sort of change from that, right? So unfortunately, if it occurs, they won't be able to play us against, you know, all that we've done by saying, okay, well, I'm just gonna go and like all we can find, like this is what we find in Black men is this negative stereotype. And so if I can assist in changing that from our perspective, then at least I'm gonna do that. Did I ever say that that's gonna make them stop shooting us? Absolutely not. Because while you can't judge a book by its cover, this ain't the cover. This is the cover, right? Like, so the book ain't changed from that perspective. But like I said, what I'm trying to do is more so boost morale. I'm not saying that the only way that you can be successful is to wear a suit. You know, like that's not what I'm saying at all. There's many people that don't do it. But Deion Sanders has one of the greatest quotes of all time. Look good, play good, they pay good. Like, I take that same approach of like when I put my suit on again, it's more of a business aspect for me going to work, but then also being able to push that aspect of, okay, I got something going for me. I've got something going on. It just like there's a mental shift. And if I can help with the mental shift, that may encourage some more of our young brothers and sisters to reach higher from an aspect of, well, what does that person do? Oh, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could do that. Again, not saying that the end all be all to it is to wear a suit. That's never been my what I've said. That's never been my idea. My true idea from an image perspective is to change the perception that all Black men are, quote unquote, whatever they want to say about us. Like, we out here, like, our culture is so impactful. And while they always say like hoodies are a part of our culture, shoot, suits are a part of our culture too, sweats are a part of our culture too, hip hop's are a part of our culture, R&B is a part of our culture, gospel is a part of our culture. It's so much that's a part of our culture, but they tend to place us as one aspect of it.
So. Yeah, no, that's interesting. And I actually like what you said, I guess from a personal experience in regards to, you know, the power of a suit for me personally, right? So like when I have a very important meeting, or I want to feel a certain way about myself, like a certain level of power or prestige, something. I have my suit that I put on, you know, my charcoal gray suit or my navy blue suit with, you know, a very specific tie and a white shirt, right? Yeah. So that's what I know to myself that I mean business, you know, and I think, you know, and I don't know where that comes from, right? Maybe it is from just imagery, you know, in terms of what you've seen from, you know, television or just other media outlets to where, you know, people view success or look at, you know, success from that standpoint in terms of, you know, the professional way to dress or, you know, something like that. But I do know that it works for me and I am on my A game whenever I have that, you know, combination of fashion on, right? Yeah. So I can see where you're coming from in terms of, you know, maybe opening the paradigm or opening the, I guess, the lanes or just the perspective of, you know, our young Black men in regards to, you know, how they can dress. And I can see it from that perspective, right? In terms of just opening up new opportunities. On the other hand, I'm thinking about an article that Allen Iverson wrote in the Players Tribune. I'm not sure if you saw that article maybe like 6 months ago or something like that, right? But he was talking about how, you know, at the time he was in the league, the NBA, that, you know, David Stern, the commissioner, and just the powers that be were trying to get, you know, these young black men who were making all this money to wear suits and to dress, I guess, quote unquote, nicer or dress, you know, in the same lens as like their white sponsors, so that the NBA can actually make more money, right? And he was highly offended by that because he thought that, you know, the NBA was really just trying to whitewash his culture and change culture. Where, you know, ain't nobody, you know, from, you know, where he's from is wearing suits. You know, they're wearing something completely different. They're trying to shine and show out as well. Right. So can you talk about that in terms of, you know, from your perspective, you know, what do you think about, I guess, I guess the ethics or like, just this idea that we have to conform to, you know, a certain general society in terms of culturally to gain acceptance, but even to feel good about ourselves. Like, why is it even we have to wear a suit to feel good about ourselves, from a day-to-day basis, from, I guess, a business standpoint or whatever?
Yeah, and now from a business standpoint, it's because everybody else from a business standpoint is going to wear a suit, no matter if they're white, black, Latino, Asian. You go into a business setting, that's what you wear. Now, completely understanding where AI comes from, because I mean, like Newport News, right? Like that's even like the opportunities that present themselves again. Him looking at it from the lens of like, why are you trying to make me do this when that ain't me? I completely agree. If it ain't you, nobody should force you into that as a means of, well, in order for you to play this game that you're very talented at and come to these games, you have to dress a certain way. Not agreeing with that, right? Not agreeing with the oppression aspect of it of, okay, now for you, only because of the sponsorships, only because of the television, like we want you and you have to be this way, force it upon you. Now, from my perspective, what I'm trying to do is if you feel comfortable in this, at least now you have a lane and like, at least you try it out, right? I'm not going back to saying that the only way that you can be successful is to wear a suit. The only way that you look successful is to wear a suit. My goal from this is open your eyes to a new opportunity, a new lane to be in. I like suits, but again, I don't wear a suit all the time, everywhere I go. There are times where I will change my attire based on where I'm going. And from that guide, I really think it's for it to be forced upon you to say that this is the only way. No. To open your eyes and say, hey, if you like it, do it, then yes, I completely agree from that notion. But don't. Again, I'm not trying to make anyone or say to anyone that it's better to be this way or better to be that way. I'm just encouraging those that feel comfortable in that to express it that way and push it that way, and encourage someone else that I might like to do that. Shoot, go try it on, see how it make you feel. That power move.
Yeah, and I want to go back to that in 1 second, but before I do, for the people who are just tuning in, I'm with NeAndre Broussard. He is the founder of the Black Menswear movement. They've been getting a lot of press as of late in regards to having these flash mobs of well-dressed Black men who want to change the narrative, the perception of Black men in the United States and also worldwide. I just saw him right before we got in here talking in a whole bunch of languages to a whole bunch of different people on this Instagram page. So, so the brother, the brother is well cultured. And please make sure you go over to, first, go ahead. If you like this video, like this conversation, press the thumbs up button. We would really appreciate that. And also subscribe to our channel and head over to theblackbusinessschool.com if you want to learn not just how to climb the corporate ladder, but also build one of your own. We have classes on real estate, entrepreneurship, personal finance, stock market investing, and many, many other things as well. So head over there and check us out, from theblackbusinessschool.com. So I like the fact that you are talking about suits, NeAndre, in terms of not even showing people another way, but even having people in our community know that we're not all monolithic. We're not all the same, right? So, just because you were born in the hood, right? The culture might be for you to dress a certain type of way, but you actually may not want to dress that way.
Right.
So it's giving you another option in terms of, how you may want to dress to express yourself on a personal level. As I was stating that, though, I don't know if it works the opposite as much. I guess it does now, but I was thinking about like a well-to-do Black family or just a well-to-do family, and someone wanted to dress, in baggy jeans all the time, hoodies, that type of stuff, which a lot of white people do too, right? I'm not even gonna say,
right.
that's but there might be pushback from the families, like, boy, you ain't from so and so. Why don't you get back and put the polo on, and that type of thing.
Right.
So there really is this divide in terms of cultures, and in terms of just communities, in terms of, I guess, the way that they dress. So what have you seen from doing this Black menswear movement? What have you seen in terms of, I guess, the different cultures? What are the differences in terms of the way that they dress? But then also, what are some of just the common things that are bringing people together under your umbrella?
Honestly, the differences, truthfully, because when you think about the suit aspect, it's not a lot of differences in suit aspects. It's just it's going to be like your cut, your color, the fabric, and those kind of things. Now, but when when it's a suit, right? So it's either 2-button, 3-button, double-breasted, single-breasted. So from that perspective, it's a fairly safe lane, right? Now, again, outside of that, that's where I love, and again, like, I love how versatile our culture is, to where I may wear distressed jeans and a polo, or I may wear joggers and some Air Maxes and a t-shirt, or I may wear Timberland boots and some jeans and a shirt. Like, the creativity comes with like everything that you can put on. And so the beautiful thing about, not only necessarily just the flash mobs, but being able to go to different places in different cities is really seeing how we rock it in different places. Going to LA, they're super casual, but it's trendy, right? It's very trendy. They may wear oversized t-shirts and some polo shorts, right? And versus you go to New York and they're like, I would never wear that. You know how New York people talk. But just being able to see the differences, and it's all within the same culture. Like, that's what I love about, I love about our culture, the fact that we can switch it up and things catch on. Things catch on quick within our culture. Like, you go and you can go to Detroit, and 2 months later you see the same thing in Dallas. Like, oh shit, I saw where that originated at. But because we connect and we vibe and we rock with each other. We appreciate when people, from a clothing perspective, we appreciate when someone does something different to an extent, right? To where it's like, okay, I can do that. I can see myself right now. I might change the colors, but I can do that same thing. So.
No, I love it. I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's what it really comes down to, because I think as a culture, we have this culture of innovation and
absolutely, right? Yeah.
You have somebody from Louisville, Kentucky on Derby Day wearing a completely different suit than somebody that's in Detroit versus someone who's in Los Angeles or New York City. So I think that is pretty cool about our culture in terms of how we take fashion as our own, and use it as self-expression. Everyone does it, but I think Black people have just a unique flair in terms of making that happen. Yeah. And, I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about some of the nuts and bolts in terms of how you went about building this movement, because I think that is also interesting too, right? I mean, you have used social media very, very well. You have used your social capital well in terms of the organization that you're part of. You mentioned Kappa Alpha Psi, those types of things. So can you talk about, some of the things that gave you early traction as you were building Black menswear?
Engagement. Truthfully, and this tip would really cost somebody like $500 of a social media consultation. But truthfully, the beautiful thing about social media and Instagram in itself is when you engage with people, people engage back. And so I really grew Black menswear off of posting. Guys, like I have a hashtag Black menswear. That's what I use to post people on my page. And so like a lot of people will send me like, hey, can you post this? Can you post this? Can you post this? I say, hey, you got to use the hashtag, because I'm going through there and I'm just looking at what's the best look on there. If it's the best look, I'm gonna post it. If it ain't the best look, you can pay to get ahead of somebody else. It doesn't work that way. And so with that, like tagging guys and it's like, hey man, I want to post your picture up. Are you cool with that? And guys like, oh yeah, absolutely. And then like it just grew, right? And then I got in the community and started doing flash mobs. And so now I'm putting out, a filler out in the city, say, hey, I'm gonna be in so-and-so city. Would love for the brothers to come out, go ahead and register here. And then now they're telling their friends about it. And then they come out and then we engage and we meet. And I tell them like, hey, this is what Black Menswear is. This is what we're here to do. It's all about changing the narrative. Perception is reality. I always hit on that. Perception is reality. Well, you perceive me the way I want to be perceived. Now, if I want you to perceive me a different way, then you got to do that because I'm going to force that upon you, right? And so from the perception is reality aspect, and they get out, and they're like, it just grew. And then now, it don't hurt when you take a picture with a little kid and Harper ends up breaking the internet. That does not hurt at all. But to grow it, to get there, it was consistency. It was relevant content because a lot of people that are starting pages, they like to post what's cool for them, not knowing what's relevant to their audience. Because that's what's going to drive your success. Because if you post it, but you're in a mindset that your audience isn't in, then they're not going to rock with your stuff. And so really studying that, and I had a lot of content I put up that I took down because it wasn't received the way I wanted it to be received. Maybe I'll try posting at another time. But it just didn't work out like that. And so kind of once I got in the groove, then it all worked out.
So that's interesting. So how did you go about learning what your audience wanted?
I knew I wanted to show, brothers in a dapper light. And so then the people that I started posting was influencers. There's a lot of influencers, a lot of Black male influencers out there. And so, reaching out to them. And then, it's all about the web, like your degrees of separation and how intertwined we all are, right? And so really hitting that explore page to where, okay, because one of your followers liked my page, you're going to see it. And then then became like people of like mind, and then truthfully, like my audience, Black culture at its finest, right? Like I do the research to know who they're following. Insecure, Issa Rae, Kevin Hart, D.L. Hughley, like all of these people that they follow and that they're geared towards the NBA because we run the NBA. You know what I mean? Like that aspect allowed me to easily kind of curate the content towards that culture.
No, I love it. Yeah. And by the way, these are very, very great tips to everyone who is watching and looking to start their own business or become an, internet influencer and that type of thing. And just as a reminder, I am with NeAndre Broussard. NeAndre is the founder of the Black Menswear movement. They are looking to change the perception of Black men worldwide, and especially in the United States through the use of fashion. So they have flash mobs where a whole bunch of Black men get together and get dapper, right? And change the perception. Black men aren't all monolithic and do one thing. So he wants to show that other side in hopes of just changing the perception, changing the narrative within the United States. So we've been talking most recently about his role as an influencer and how he went about building his audience. How many? So you're mainly on IG, is that right?
Yeah, my largest audience is on Instagram. We've got Facebook as well. Twitter's I just got back to Twitter. I forget how powerful Twitter was.
Yeah. So how many followers do you have on Instagram?
I think we're now to 120,000.
So you got 120,000 followers. So you guys are really building up this brand.
Yes, sir.
Tell me how, as your following has grown, how has your life changed as you are moving more into the influencer role?
Honestly, it's the same for me because like I look at it as I still got more work to do. You know what I'm saying? Like even as the the page has grown and the influencer reach has grown and then interviews and things now. Like for me, it's still like change the narrative. Like I'm still trying to change the game. Like I still have a lot of people that that, need to see some sort of visual representation of something else. And so like, it's cool, but I mean, it don't stop the calling. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than Black Menswear, honestly. And so like my whole thing is like, it's amazing. It's a blessing in itself, for opportunities and things. But at the end of the day, like we still got a world to try to encourage, inspire, so.
Got you. So let's talk about the big vision of Black Menswear then. If you look up 10 years from now, you will be happy if what has occurred with Black Menswear.
So a couple things that I really want to do. I want to, I want to develop a suit bank that's specific to men of color. Specifically, like our brothers that are coming out of high school, black kids coming out of high school, going to college, or even not going to college, going to a job, like to make it to where if you fill out a request form and you tell me why you should get one of these suits for free, I will send you the suit. I want to have a suit bank to where everyone, because I mean, truthfully, like we talked about it, obviously the man in the suit is the man in the suit, right? So the suit don't change who the person is. But again, you can't go to a job interview if you don't have a suit. If they're not gonna hire you. I don't care. Now, I can't say I don't care who you are because some people have that privilege, right? But you know what I'm saying? So and if you need that and you can't unfortunately you can't afford that, there should be some sort of resource for you to be able to still try to get that job. Like that might change your whole life after that point if you land that job. And so I want to have a suit bank that would allow guys, especially, guys coming out of college too, getting ready to come out of college, that first corporate opportunity you got to come about. But you're like, I just graduated. I don't have no suit. I got an interview. How can I get access to a suit? I would love to have a suit bank for that. So having at that point, 10 years from now, like that suit bank might be massive, Also, alongside of that, I would love to have my Black Menswear suit line, which is BM and Company. A little plug there. I'll take that. BM and Co. Our suits will be out towards the end of this year, and our goal is to provide a quality suit at an affordable cost. I'm looking to be able to offer something that's a great suit, but does not cost you a lot of money. And because I know how much it costs to make a suit, right? And so, the suits that you're going to, Express or Suit Supply or those kind of places to buy a suit, I know how much those suit costs, right? And so now you're paying for a name. Well, how about I just give you the suit, right? How about I just allow you to have access to the suit? I think that's going to change the game from a suit perspective. Now, of course, you'll still have your top of the line, your custom, your bespoke, the ones that'll cost you probably a couple $1,000s to get. Maybe I'll get there, maybe I won't. But my focus is going to be offering more people an opportunity to get into a suit by offering a quality suit at an affordable cost.
No, I love it, man. I love it because, truthfully, I like Suit Supply, right? I should admit that on this channel. But, I like Suit Supply. I like Banana Republic.
Yeah.
Those types of things. But, I had an alternative like your type of company. And if you guys know of any Black menswear companies that, make some really nice suits, I'm more on the conservative side in terms of my suit game.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put them in the chat so we can share them with the rest of the audience, the rest of the crew.
And that's a beautiful thing I've been able to do as well. As I'm leading up to my own, I've been able to connect with a lot of people that I've networked with in all these cities. Guys, and I got probably 7 or 8 Dallas-based Black-owned clothiers in my phone. I've got a couple out in LA. I got my guy out in Mississippi. You know who he is. I got guys in DC. Like these are brothers, these young brothers that are like, man, I'm getting to the game. I'm teaching myself how to be a suit maker, how to be a tailor. And those are things, because we move different. Like we got to grind, we got to hustle. And so from that perspective, like being self-taught, I could go to a fashion school, but I picked up on things. I started doing, researching on YouTube and having all this access that's in front of me right here. And I learned it myself. right? And so there's a lot of, the beautiful thing about this is that I've still been able to connect a lot of people from that way in order to keep it in-house. Again, I'd rather somebody, I get the people all the time DMing me about, hey, I need this suit for this occasion. I need this for that. Can you put me in somebody? Absolutely. Let me connect you with that. Because if not, you're just going to go to somewhere else and they don't value you as a client. And, you know, I'd rather connect that and keep those dollars circulating in our community.
Yeah, most definitely. And I want to get back to that 1 second in terms of you learning this new skill. And then I want to get into personal branding and the power of personal branding and the way that you dress. But before I do, just as a reminder, everyone, I'm here with NeAndre Broussard. NeAndre is the founder of the Black Menswear movement. They've been getting a lot of press by having their flash mobs as of late, with just a whole bunch of just well-dressed, dapper Black men coming together to change the narrative, to change the perception of Black men in the United States and worldwide. So we've talked about numerous things. We've talked about, you know, why he started the movement, some of the backlash in terms of people accusing NeAndre of participating in respectability politics as well. We talked about, you know, him actually learning a new skill. That's what we're about to talk about right now. I just want to jump into that in a second, but please make sure you press the thumbs up button. If you can, like this video so we can bring you more videos like it. Please share it with your friends and family if you like this conversation, and then also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Lastly, go ahead and visit theblackbusinessschool.com, which is our sponsor. Of course, I'm the president of the organization. My brother's the founder and CEO, but we don't just, what's that right there?
I'm just making sure people my people on my IG live can see you. So that way they know who's
talking over here. Okay, yeah. Please make sure you guys head over to the Black Business School, where we don't help you just climb the corporate ladder. We help you build one yourself. We have classes on real estate. We have classes on entrepreneurship and small business, also stock market investing, and personal finance, as well as many other things on top of that. So head over to theblackbusinessschool.com. So I'm talking to NeAndre, and he just dropped a gem in terms of something I think is very interesting as someone who is already an aspiring or really up and coming influencer. You already have 120,000, Instagram followers, and you're live streaming right now on your side too. I want you to talk about this learning a new skill of being a producer, though, right? So being an influencer, having an influence is different than actually creating a product. And it sounded like you didn't really know how to be a tailor, but you are learning this skill on your own, or you're just learning this skill just from passion. Can you talk a little bit more in terms of, how you're going about doing that? But even before that, why are you not just sticking with the influencer role, and why are you moving to this role of having your own product as well?
Instagram could shut down tomorrow. If Instagram shuts down tomorrow, then I'm no longer relevant to 120,000 people. Truthfully, right? Social media changes. When I was coming out of high school, like the big thing was to get a Facebook account so I could be on there with all my college friends. Because now I'm old enough to get Facebook, and then that changed, right? So now it's like it's social media, comes and goes. But how do you stay relevant? It really, from my perspective, it was because of all of the inquiries that I got through my page that decided, you know what, let me learn this craft, because people are asking me questions that I at least want to be able to address a lot of them myself. And then, I tried to build on my knowledge base, and I am steadily learning. I like to say I'm a sponge. I've had the fortunate privilege too, of, because I have this page of actually having conversations with guys that have been, in the industry for 10 and 15 years, that appreciate the movement and are willing to just drop nuggets on me and gems about this, going into this lane, into this clothing line industry and these kind of things. And so, it's, once again, when you find something that you're passionate about and you find something that I think helps people, that's why I'm really kind of getting knee deep in it, because I have the opportunity to help and motivate people. Yeah,
I love it. And, it's given me some things to think about too, because, me and one of my business partners, shout out to Julian Gordon, we work very closely together on many different things. But one of the areas that we're really researching right now is, how are movements being created, and how do you get people to be a part of them, and just make lasting long-term type of movements or companies or whatever associated with it too. And one of the things that we've always noticed is that a lot of people who are influencers eventually end up having their own brand. And that's where a lot of the real money and the real value is created.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, Kylie Jenner is one of them, right? That's the first person that comes to mind. Rihanna's the first person. I was walking in, I guess, the Sephora store with my wife, maybe like 2 days ago, and she has her entire line.
Yeah.
Or then you have what's her name, Pam McGrath or Pat McGrath? Is that who it is? I don't know if you know the makeup line, but there's a lady named Pat McGrath who's killing it.
Yeah. I seen her. I know who you're talking about, but I can't confirm that's her name. But I know exactly who you're talking about, though.
But
just made that bank. Yeah,
just made that bank, and that's kind of like what you're doing too. And I really appreciate it, and it's good to see young brothers and sisters know that we're not just influencers or entertainers or just tell people what's cool and not cool.
Yeah.
We can vertically integrate and also own the products too, and that's exactly what you're doing. Yeah. And a piece that we haven't really talked about as much is how dress affects your personal brand, or just talking about personal branding in general. So I guess that's my next set of questions is around this concept of dress and personal branding. How do you think the way that you dress affects your personal brand and how people perceive you?
I mean, you're a walking billboard. You know what I mean? Like when you become a brand, people scrutinize you for everything, every aspect. And so if they see you and they scrutinize you, and again, this is while I'm speaking specifically to our culture and our community, I mean, this is for everybody, right? So you can't come into a business job interview not dressed for a business job. You dress the way, what they say, dress the way that you want to be addressed. Now, keep in mind, again, we're at a disadvantage culturally because of what the media has done for us. But when you look at, if you are trying to build and develop a brand, your name is who you are, and people associate your name with what they see of you. So therefore, you become a walking billboard, to where, for most part, Black menswear is known for suiting. And so, like, people will send me pictures that are not in suits. Hey, man, can you post this? Well, first of all, you're not in a suit. So you're not going to be the reason why I break all my followers' hearts and start posting people with sweats. So from that perspective, you have to maintain your brand consistency. And you push forth what you would want your brand to be. And, it's an opportunity to where, the thing about the suit is, like, the suit is universal. A suit allows you to go into any situation, honestly, and have some sort of comfort level within it. If I walk into my office to go pick up something and I'm in my basketball shorts and my t-shirt, I'm gonna feel like I'm in my basketball shorts and my t-shirt, right? And so just having that, that brand aspect, you drive what you want your brand to be from a visual perspective, and people will perceive you that way.
Yeah, no, I think that's interesting. I think that you're right. And I'm still just so torn about this idea of, your dress and personal branding, right? Because I know that it affects it. I'm curious, or I'm trying to figure out, is it worth changing, who you are in terms of just the culture that you come from to potentially assimilate into another culture that may not be yours, but in order to gain more economic resources or to gain some other type of resource that you currently don't have. Like, is that a sacrifice that people should be willing to make? But I do think I think the truism is that people do judge you in terms of the way you dress.
Yeah.
The question is, should you care? I mean, like, do you have enough power not to give a damn? Right. I mean, I think that's
right.
My perspective too. But I definitely agree with you in terms of just, internally, if you're used to being dapper, you're used to dressing a certain way, looking clean. It does make a difference to your personal self-esteem too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And the reason I'm actually kind of talking to myself right now, so you guys are
No, and you hit it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you hit it too. It's, the question of, do you change who you are? Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? You stay true to who you are. Now, do you float with situations? Yeah. You always got to float. You always got to be able to, because again, like we as a culture, we just got this ability to be able to adapt to situations. So you adapt for a second, and then you know what I'm saying? Excuse me, like you don't change who you are. That's always in you. Always, all day, every day. That's who you are. But you got to be able to float with some different situations and different circumstances. That doesn't change who you are, but you just mitigate the situation, and then you do what you got to do at times. But never, ever change who you are. That's what makes you you. You can't be somebody else. You got to be you.
Yeah, we're gonna have we'll have you back and have a different conversation about that, because I'm doing some in-depth research about identity and brand identity and how that relates to someone's social capital, right? But we don't have time today. We don't have time today to really dig.
Okay. Yeah.
You guys want to have that in the future, have that conversation or listen to that conversation, please go ahead and press the thumbs up button, the like button on YouTube. Please share this video if you enjoyed this conversation as well. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is going to be posted on this channel and also a couple other channels that we have as well. So NeAndre, how can people get in touch with you if they want to learn more about the Black Menswear movement and just the things that you're up to?
So all social media platforms, Black Menswear, Instagram at Black Menswear, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, Twitter at Black Menswear, Facebook, just Black Menswear. Keep up. Website is in production right now. The suit line is in production right now. Just kind of keep an eye on that. Your best keep contact through Instagram. That's going to be because that's our primary platform today. So that's going to be where, you keep in best contact with us. Shameless plug, Chicago, May 4th, Dallas, May 18th, H-Town, May 26th. Those are the next 3 flash mobs that are coming. Again, Chicago, May 4th, Dallas, May 18th, H-Town, Houston, Texas, May 26th. Again, where you'll find the information on it, come to the Instagram page, click the link, and it'll tell you the registration.
Love it. So I'd like to thank one more time our guest, NeAndre Broussard, for joining us today, the founder of the Black Menswear movement. He just told you how you can get in touch with him. When his suits come out, I'll be one of the first in line to go ahead.
Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah.
So I can get rid of these suit supply suits that I have.
Yeah.
Broussard brand or whatever he decides to call it.
Right. right on.
Yeah. Once again, I'd like to thank you, NeAndre. Please make sure you like this video. So I guess on behalf of NeAndre Broussard, I'm Lawrence Watkins. I'm the
hold on. Before you drop, I appreciate you. I appreciate your platform. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the change that you are creating. I appreciate the education that you're providing. So definitely want to say I appreciate you as well. Next time, you got to have me on to talk about that. We talked about it, but also you got to get me on to talk about life insurance and how we can use life insurance for generational wealth.
Hey, we can have you on very, very soon about that. That's something I've been thinking a whole bunch about as of late. Matter of fact, me and Julian and Boyce actually had a conversation about that recently. So we're going on to talk about that too, as I know you sell life insurance.
My day job, man. I train folks all day, every day on how to sell life insurance. So yeah.
So we'll have you on with that. So please like this video. On behalf of NeAndre Broussard, I'm Lawrence Watkins. I'm the founder and CEO of Great Black Speakers, also the president and chief operating officer of the Black Business School, where we don't just teach you how to climb the corporate ladder, we teach you how to build your own as well. So you guys take care, be blessed, and have a great day. All right, bye-bye.